Hey everybody, long time no see. Welcome to the Evening Reader. My name is Priscilla. Well, long time no see if you are somebody who's visited before. If you're not, if you're new, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing something a little different. I'm not doing a wrap up or book reviews or a tag. I have all those things that I need to do, and I will be hopefully getting to those next week. We'll see. But today I wanted to just sort of have like a little chat. I wanted to chat about something that's been on my mind, and that is the future of fiction. Yeah. And it's a big topic. I realize that we probably can't cover everything about that here today. But the reason that's on my mind is because in the last couple of weeks, there's been a bit of a brouhaha on social media. I just really wanted to say brouhaha. Um, on Instagram and mostly Instagram because I'm not on Twitter or whatever it's called. Not on that platform anymore. But I have seen several authors that I follow talking about the the Atlantic article or the series of articles in the Atlantic about book 3, which was or is, I should say, excuse me, Meta's uh, large language modeling and AI project, where they have taken titles from 183 authors' works over the last 20 years and used them to train AI and large language modeling. And these are books that are under copyright. The authors were not asked for their permission. And authors are very upset about it. And, of course, there's been debates in the public sphere. There was a sort of op-ed column in the Atlantic, which was kind of weirdly reductive and ridiculous. Uh, and sort of, started quoting Derrida and talking about the anxiety of influence and comparing authors getting upset about having their work training AI models as being no different than the contract they have with a reader picking up their books and reading it. Just very strange. Just things got crazy. Things got really crazy. I don't have a lot of answers. I'll link to the original Atlantic article below, but beware that it's behind a paywall. The first article is free if you're not a subscriber. I am not a subscriber. But just, managing, I think you get one free article every month or something. So just, I happen to straddle on a couple of articles that time period. But I'll link to that below. You can also sign up for a free trial if you want to read all the articles. And I mean, I'm sure there's other commentary out there, and I'm not here to like give commentary because, I just wanted to talk about it. I just really wanted to talk about this whole idea of AI and what it means for fiction in particular. I mean, we could talk about it, in terms of writing as a whole, but that's just that's too big. Fiction alone is big enough. So we'll just stick with fiction. I think I understand exactly why these authors are upset. I mean, first of all, these are works that are under copyright. And we don't really know what they're going to do in terms of what they're going to do with all this content that's being scanned and that the AI engine's being trained on. And it's just, there's some interesting repercussions in general with AI and fiction and things like ChatGPT and these sort of AI engines that can generate content. And I've been thinking about this for a while, for a long time. I mean, maybe some of you also have been thinking about it and seeing the articles. I mean, ever since Dolly sort of hit last year, or I guess earlier this year, and we saw everybody was playing with it and making all kinds of crazy visual images with it. And then ChatGPT sort of really hit. And then I guess about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe, I'm not sure if it was even that long ago, Rick Beato, who has a big YouTube channel. I've talked about him before. He's a music producer, musician, music teacher, really knows a great deal about music from, say, pre-classical to modern day, modern pop. Really interesting channel. I'm not a musician. He can get down into the technical weeds. I don't understand any of that, but he also just talks about music in general and different bands and different genres, and he does interviews. Anyway, he did a video about Drake, the artist Drake, had a song, talking his own song. he, I don't know off the top of my head the name of the song. I'll link Rick Beato's video down below, but I haven't I haven't watched it recently, but I do remember it. It's stuck in my mind. And in this video, he talks about that song versus a song then that somebody had posted on AI that was a Drake song done by an AI engine. It uses Drake's voice. It is not Drake. And Drake did not write the song. It's a song based on Drake's songs that this AI engine produced. And Rick Beato, who's been around and around and done a lot of music producing and knows a lot about what goes into producing music, actually was sort of like, the AI song is a little better. But then really that wasn't his goal. His goal was to talk about the ethics of such a thing, especially in terms of using somebody's mocking someone's physical voice. Mimicking, I guess, is a better word than mocking, since we tend to think of mocking as, as like a pejorative thing. Mimicking a real person's voice and a real person's songwriting style and doing a song in that style, and it's out there. And what does that mean? What does that mean for Drake? If there's a song in the style of Drake, sung in the style of Drake by a voice that's like Drake, but it's not Drake, does Drake get credit for it? How does that work? Should he get to like license out his brain? What would be licensed? His effect? I mean, this is crazy. So anyway, so that was the discussion on the Rick Beato video. And I've been thinking about it in terms of fiction ever since then, because there are lots of ramifications, right, for the fiction world. We already have in the real world. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee right now. Watch me take a sip of my coffee. Nice coffee. It's a coffee clutch, so I get to drink coffee. I know some people are like, that's rude if you're drinking in a video. But we're having a little coffee. I don't know how that's any weirder than watching somebody put their makeup on. I don't think that watching someone put their makeup on is weird, by the way. Those little chatty get ready with me videos are kind of fun. But I'm having a coffee clutch video with you. Like I'm Lorelai Gilmore and I'm drinking my coffee. And also I made this cup of coffee and then I decided to make a video. So anyway, okay. But back to the topic at hand. So we're already doing this in the real world, right? Like, we've already got some, they're not, but it doesn't seem unethical, right? Like, for example, the writer Sophie Hannah is writing Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot mysteries. So essentially, she's sort of keeping alive the spirit of Agatha Christie. Um, James Patterson doesn't write his own books. He has people who write his books for him. Everybody knows this. This is well known, or, I mean, they at least are content generating parts of his books. Everybody knows this. The James Bond, uh, Ian Fleming, uh, huh, different authors have stepped up and written these books. I'm not sure, but that's different, right? I mean, I guess they're getting permission, they're agreeing to hold to certain principles. Nancy Drew. I mean, how many different people have been writing Nancy Drew books? And of course, it's my understanding that Nancy has evolved a bit over the years, but there for a long time, new people were writing those books. So it's not like it's unprecedented in a way to think that we could use AI to continue generating author content. I hate using that. I hate saying it that way. But that's how I think about it, because I cannot think about it in terms of writing a book or writing fiction. And, it's like, what would somebody do to get, like, somebody who loves Charles Dickens, what would they do, if AI could write a new Charles Dickens novel and it would read like it was written by Charles Dickens? You yourself, if you are a Charles Dickens fan or a Jane Austen fan, would you buy that book? I'm so curious. I'm so curious about this. I mean, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, people, so I am a bit all over the place, and I apologize for it, but just, try to stick with me. It's difficult to do this in front of a camera when you don't have any, like, information coming back at you. So this is probably something that would be better on a live stream, but I've never done a live stream, and I'm not going to sit by myself and hope people show up. And also, my time zone is weird, so most of my viewers are not here at my same time zone, so, or would maybe be able to watch. So anyway, I think about, there's the cat again. She has opinions on AI. Can AI generate food? Can AI play with me and my string? That's what Moxie really wants to know. What are you doing? What are you doing, Moxie? Okay. So, I mean, we've, lately there have even been novels published, like, posthumously. Unfinished novels are being published by authors who kept these novels in a drawer for a reason. But publishers are like, no, anything we can get our hands on, anything we can get the estate to say yes to, we're going to publish it. Well, a lost short story. Oh, found 2/3 of a novel, and then somebody else finishes it. Someone else finishes it. And so, I don't know where the line is, right? Like, where's the line? Is it better that somebody else, another human, takes it? A human who may have other biases and motives, takes an author's 2/3 completed manuscript and says, oh, I know what they would want, and then finishes that, and then it gets published. Is that more or less ethical than, say, they fed everything into AI, including that unfinished manuscript, and then produced by logical, if you want to call it logic, I guess it would be based on logic, some kind of clean, finished version of that unfinished work. But then the author didn't maybe want it finished, didn't want to finish it, didn't want it published. We don't know sometimes maybe what that author thought about that manuscript. It might be in the drawer for a reason. Just because there's no notes that say, I hate it, never touch it. I don't know. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. Okay. No guarantees. No guarantees that she will not start screaming again. She just wants to play. She wants to play. And what am I doing? I'm making a video. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So, another question. This is, I mean, I don't like this. Don't get me wrong. I don't like this. Let me just say this. What I'm about to propose is not something I would participate in. But, you know, say for example, Donna Tartt. So Donna Tartt, we have like the reading world has decided that Donna Tartt owes us a book every 10 to 11 years. And we're coming on up on 2024. And so she's gonna be overdue. You're gonna be overdue, Donna. You know, we're gonna be out here going, where's the book? We're all waiting for the book. It should be time for the book. Where is it? And let's say we're waiting and it's 4 years and it's 5 years and we don't hear from Donna. Somebody, Donna's publisher? What is that? Donna's publisher? All right, Donna. You don't want to give us a book? We'll just go ahead and write one for you. I mean, this is the scary thing about AI. To me, like, okay, well, then we'll just, maybe we can't even say it's by Donna Tartt, but we can say it's like Donna Tartt. We can say it's Donna Tartt adjacent. We can say, who knows what they can say? Who knows what they can come up with? And people will buy it. People will buy it because people like what they like and they want more of what they like. And there are lots of people in the world who are not bothered by any of this at all. They're like, more of that? Great. If AI can give me more of that, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the Austen. I'll take the Dickens. I'll take the Steinbeck. I'll take the Toni Morrison. I'll take the, she can't write any more books. She died. We wanted more books from her. Bring them on. The McMurtry, and then maybe it does come down to, oh, Tana French. You don't want to write another Dublin Murder Squad book? But your public really wants one. So you could stay over there and work on that book, but we're gonna make this book over here. I'm not sure. I don't know how that all works, how that's gonna work. Because it's ugly. I don't know. It's kind of ugly. Am I being alarmist? I'm probably being alarmist. But I'm curious to know what you think about that. I'm very curious about that. Because I think it's sort of, I think it's going to be out of control very quickly. I don't know how, publishers want to make money, and it's very difficult already for authors out there. It's not easy. And why, like if Stephen King dies, why would you take a bet on somebody who's an unknown when you could use AI to keep producing something people will buy? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough, it's tough. I mean, and I'm in an industry and I'm in a job where my job will be directly threatened by ChatGPT and content engines very soon. Very soon. I There are already people where I work trying to build drafts of content using ChatGPT. And they're bad. They're really bad right now. They're really junky. But it's not stopping people from trying to use it. And it's not stopping people from there's a lot of people out there who'll go, "Oh, that's good enough. I'm just gonna slap it together and then I'll just, format it and it'll be fine." Trust me, this happens all the time. And if you have worked anywhere in any kind of business, or you've seen it. You've seen it. So I don't know. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how I feel about it producing original works either. I mean, this is a debate that my husband and I have all the time because he's like, what if you could get AI to start a novel for you and then you could finish it? Or it could, it could get the bare bones of an idea. You just give it an idea and then it comes back and then you could finish it. You could fill it out. You could, you know, you could edit it. You could edit it and clean it up and make it personalize it. And I'm thinking, how could I do that? I mean, especially now, thinking about those 183 authors whose content is out there and is has that might I mean, thinking that I might get back part of Attica Locke's Bluebird, depending on what I type in. I want to write a novel about an East Texas cop, and then I get back chunks of Bluebird. No, no, no. And how would I couldn't do the homework, right? Like, how would I know how to figure out what's plagiarized and what ChatGPT wrote by itself? I mean, because one of the lame things that I saw in one article was, oh, well, like I said, the anxiety of influence. Well, I mean, it's not like authors aren't already influenced by other authors. Let's not pretend that authors live in a vacuum and that they don't read other works and that that work doesn't affect what they produce. Well, of course it does. But it affects them in, I'm going to use this word because I don't have a better word to use right now. It affects them in their soul. It affects them in their soul, and it affects them in their thinking brain. And of course, things get lodged in there that you've read if you're writing that you're always going to be subconsciously following a style or pulling a little bit, especially at the start. Especially at the start. When I first started out writing, and I was reading tons and tons of short stories, I can look back at that old writing and go, oh my God, I was basically channeling Lori Moore. I was basically trying to channel Alice Munro or John Cheever. It happens. It happens. But I'm aware of it to some point. And you know, to a point, it's also okay. It's also okay to me because it's being processed by a human. It's being processed through many human filters. It's not just just grabbing and grabbing and there's nothing, there's no work. There's no, yeah. Because artists are all influenced by other artists. I mean, and it's, it's even weird. Like, I've seen the advice and I have followed the advice of like, if you really want to learn to write, if you're interested in writing short stories or even novels, one of the things that you can do to teach yourself is to sit down and type out somebody else's stories. I have done that. I've typed out Joyce Carol Oates short stories. I've typed out Lori Moore short stories. I've typed out Alice Munro short stories. You get a feel for pacing and language and structure and, transitions and all kinds of things when you do that. But I'm typing it out. I'm studying. I'm not ever going to type that out and then copy paste it into my own story. Just like, artists go to museums and sketch other paintings. They've been doing this for hundreds of years. They sketch and they sketch and they sketch and paint, or they may paint. They may paint and paint. It's how you learn technique. It's how you see. You get to feel it. There's like a physical connection that you make when you copy in that way. When you're copying to study, when you're not copying to steal, you're copying to learn. There's nothing wrong with it. But, in writing, we're paranoid, right? Like, no, 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 no. Of course, it's sort of understandable too. Writing is very, I don't know, if it's sort of one of those arts that where it feels like it's an art where you can't call yourself a writer unless you're published. A lot of writers feel that way. Oh, you're a writer. Well, have you published anything? No, but I get up and write every day. Every day I'm working on stories. I'm working on my books. I'm submitting stories. I'm working, but you haven't published any. Well, no. So you're not a real writer. You're not a real writer. I mean, there's a story that Anne Lamott tells in Bird by Bird when her first novel was published, and she gets her box of books and she's published it. She's so excited, and she goes to, she's out like clothes shopping or something, and she's at this clothing store, and the sales lady's like, "So what do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm a writer." And she's like, "Have you ever written anything I've ever heard of?" And she like names her first book, and crickets. I don't know if this happens to other people. Maybe musicians? Does it happen to painters? Does it happen to painters where it's like if you say I'm a painter, are people like, "Oh, do you have anything in the Met?" "Oh, you don't have anything in the Met." "Oh, you're not a painter." But then on the flip side, a lot of people who say they want to be writers, when they say I want to write, I want to be a writer, what they mean is I want to be a published author, which is also kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I can't, it's almost like this expectation, like, no, yeah, I'm going to write a book. What they really mean is I want to publish a book and be famous versus, and a lot of people who start out writing have that expectation. Like, I should just be able to like write a draft and submit it and then get it published and then it's going to be great. And do other arts have this problem? I don't know. Like, yeah. Does somebody paint a picture and think, probably the Rijksmuseum's going to be calling me about this one? I'm just going to carry it over there. I'm going to wrap it in canvas. I'm going to get on my bicycle. I'm going to ride it over there. They're going to love it. They're going to hang it up. They're hanging up right there next to Rembrandt. It'll be great. It's great because it's in the style of Rembrandt. So it should go in that gallery. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And obviously I'm all over the place today. I have a lot of things on my mind, but I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these things. I would love, especially to hear what you think about AI and fiction, because we're all readers. And one thing I think none of us want, or at least I think anyone who comes to this channel, and I'm not making the distinction to be mean, but anyone who comes to this channel, I think, will say, no, I don't think I really want to read a book written by AI. But there are a lot of people who, like I said, I think there are a lot of people who won't care. I think there are a lot of people who would say, if I could get more of this thing that I like, if I could even tell ChatGPT, these are the books I like, and it would write me a book like those books, I would love it. I would be so happy. That would be great. That's kind of terrifying in a way. If you're somebody, maybe it's just me because I'm over here trying to write a novel and I'm thinking, what am I doing this for? If in a few years that's a possibility. That's weird. That's just a weird thing to think about. Anyway, all right, okay, I think I'll stop there. Because I could go on and on and on, and nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. But I want to hear what you think. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. And also, what do you think about the chatty format? Having something to talk about. I don't know if I would make this a regular thing. Obviously, I'd need something to talk about, but if you like this kind of thing, let me know that. Let me know what you think about AI. Let me know what you think about writing in general. Let me know if you think, I would love to hear other opinions. I would love to know, and I have definitely not thought this all the way through, so I would love to hear if you have some different points of view, if you see areas where this could help, because I'm not condemning AI overall. I want to make that clear too. They're clearly like science and medical fields. I think there's a great deal of good that AI can do. A lot of processing and looking at big, huge data sets that humans just cannot handle, and correlating information and really opening things up based on like past studies and things that have been done. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. But with art, is AI art? Can it be something that is like, yeah, I don't know. But let me know. Yeah, I've said that like 20 times. Let me know what you think. And we can talk about it in the comments. And I will be back next week with a tag video and with a wrap-up video. And then we'll just go from there. Anyway, I hope that you have a good weekend and take care of yourself out there. And thanks if you stayed till the end. Thanks for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.